So I think that brings us to the next part, which is whether we actually get the guidance, or you actually get the guidance on as to how do we actually tackle this problem. Or like you mentioned, right, harassment, it has to be taken more seriously. It's really tough. I think I also fully agree that it's really something that is so hard to talk about, right? It's a soft side of things, like you mentioned about injuries. So when injuries, you have a certain standard of operations, how you do it, this and that, circulars to talk about injuries and accidents. But when it comes to softer things like harassment and bullying, then what preventative measures can we, implement to easen things out? So because it brings us to the next hot take, because it's talking about harassment training, right? And it says if you think harassment training is pointless, you've probably never been the target. So I assume all of you have attended harassment training, yes, right? Tell me, because I'm not a seafarer, tell me how. Maybe I'm just assuming maybe different organizations have different ways of delivering the training. So probably whoever comes first, share with me how these trainings have been delivered, and then do you think it was helpful?
Okay, I first. Alright, I think
3, 2, 1.
Talk to me.
An SMOU production. Seize the day.
So far, the harassment training that I went for, it's really helpful, because it's not just like PowerPoint slides and videos, but it's beyond that. It's more to you are included. They engage you with different types of harassment, not just like the ones that we know. They are more than just one type of harassment. Maybe we can start by the verbally ones. If let's say someone were to be cooking, they make those parties. They say, "Honey, why you never cook? You girl what?" Okay. So it's not very to the heart, but you expect something from me.
But I will go and say most of the good cooks are men.
But they say you girl what? Look at Gordon Ramsay. It's a male what? It's a male what?
There's so many the name. But yeah.
Girl, you're supposed to be in the kitchen. I think I was quite calm. It didn't really hurt me. I'm just like, no, it's okay. No, I'm not cooking this time. Yeah, I think kindness. Killed it with kindness first. But if they were to push it, then maybe I'll push it also. I'll become more sarcastic. Yeah. Yeah, but then not just verbally, they can even go to physically. They can touch you. It's okay. You have me. Don't worry. Me? Yeah. What? Yeah. That's like, what? I have you? Like what? Yeah, you have my support. Anything you can ask me. So they go in that depth. Yeah. Sure. Not just me. I bet all the other girls for sure.
For me, I'm a very introvert person on board. Quite introvert on board. I have this job. Please don't disturb me. What support you need? Go find the captain. The captain got the best support. Office support, all you have. Just find the captain, the best man to find. Yeah. I think it is quite... I feel that in the seafaring industry, right, you're already burdened with so many things.
Yes, correct.
I feel that you want me to burden with another person?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, man.
We have our own stuff to go on, and to do this is just so much in a day. You have 24 hours in a day.
Back to it, it's like how this kind of training that's given by your company, right? How do they actually help you to identify all these things that's happening on ship? And then, do you think all these trainings are kind of really helpful or relatable? Are you able to resonate to it? I think that's most important, right?
I think not all they cover. I think at that point, sometimes it's not those typical stereotypes of men are the harassers and girls are. It's good that they played both. Can be girl to girl, can be boy to boy. Yeah. So it's good that they give this kind of examples that we can relate to. So I think that training was really helpful for me. But we don't know about those other poorly designed kind of trainings where it's just PowerPoint slides and MCQs. I'm not sure if we all get the same type of trainings, but my training so far is quite good.
I think more importantly, like you mentioned, is just whether it's effective or not, right?
Engaging also depends on how engaged it is, you know.
But how often are these trainings, if I ask?
Not so often. I think I've sailed for like 7 years, so maybe once or twice. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're quite busy though.
For the last 7 years, only twice.
Yeah, once or twice.
Okay.
But we do have CBTs.
So as in twice, as in you only attended twice, or the company only organized it twice?
Organize twice.
So you actually like invite third parties to come in
Yeah,
and
the parties
kinda
to just.
give a training
Yes,
session.
But I think the CBTs are like a monthly thing that we have to always. Yeah. So they're just like a recap. Yeah.
But somehow I read that as if your company to do it twice only, that means there is not so many harassment cases. Then maybe
Yeah, because I think you also didn't really mention of
maybe not a lot of harassment cases and doesn't need that much attention to it. Perhaps.
Yeah. And our cultures on boards are really top notch, so should be all okay. Top notch.
I'm curious to hear from you what your experiences are within the company, and also the training programs that's being pushed across from the organization. And do you think that it was helpful for you?
I'm a strong believer that the person who conduct the course has to be a believer of the course initially. Otherwise, if you find somebody in the company to for example, this captain go and do this course for the Seafarer. So the captain will have to be, you have to assign someone who believes in the cause. I personally seen some trainings, right? Captain just go there, hi everybody, see all the slide, blah 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 blah. Okay, tea break, then come back, then blah blah blah. Okay, what do you think? No question. Okay, good. Ciao. Done and dusted.
Ciao. Bella
Yeah.
ciao.
Yeah, ciao, bella ciao, man. Yeah, then like wow, very effective. 5-star rating lah.
10 out of
10 out
10.
of
Presentation
10,
well
really.
received.
Rotten Tomato 9.7. What happened to 0.3? All because no free coffee. See, it has to the person who delivers the course has to believe in it. Otherwise, it will just be another day in office. Yeah. The training that I went for, we don't talk about harassment. We just talk about, like what you say, to how to identify it. If you feel that the course is pointless, then probably you're either not the target or you are the perpetrator. Yeah. Really, if you don't feel it, then it's either you're the one doing it or there's nobody doing it to you. Yeah. And often at times, I would say, some captains or even the senior officers, they are the one who is harassing people without them knowing, because for them, right, they are being trained in a certain way. My captain or chief officer used to every single time look at me, this, that, the verbal abuse, everything. I okay one. But yeah, they are okay with it. So my junior come, I will train it the same way. Then they have built a kind of resilience. They have this belief lah. Yeah. Then when they have built up this kind of belief, they don't think it's dangerous. They don't. Yeah.
Because what I'm hearing is a toxic cycle.
But it is, most of our cases now is because they feel that I have survived it this way, so you should be able to do it the same. And then that's what they will just like, yeah, this one.
But it's like you become comfortable with abuse, and then you think that it's okay to abuse the below because you think that this is how I man up.
Some
So you need to man up this way.
senior officer, you see the bus I earn?
Bus.
The stripes, the stripes.
Seafarers, the officers usually have a
Yeah.
bus, right? This bus signify the amount of so-called pain and suffering that I've gone through. You must go through this so-called ritual, then you can earn the bus. Yeah. I like, okay, okay.
So Wei Loon
Yeah.
has 2 bars. That's the amount of suffering that he has gone through.
So they were still thinking, in a very prideful manner, but things have to change. When we say change, right, it's not about pointing out. Yeah, it's literally to sit down with them, have a so-called one-on-one, maybe a non-formal talk. That's the best way, because onboard ship nowadays is still very hierarchical, and people think I outrank everybody. Listen to me. Don't listen to me. Just next port you sign off. But company nowadays, how they're improving is opinion on different level matters. Right, so training is not like last time my officers got training only. Now we include the crew as well. Even they are not so good with English, right? We have agents to sort of like translate to their language to make them better understand the course itself. Yeah, and recently it was quite a few years ago. We have certain training, let's say for the LNG bunkering. Like you see that those people from different ASEAN countries, they're quite poor in English language. So we sort of like give them their own mother tongue language papers so they can actually read and understand, digest better. If they don't, they can always ask the agent. Yeah. So I think this is one of the good way to close down the communication barrier, like having a common ground, like using different languages to make sure people understand. Okay, what is the point? What is the objective of this training? But more or less, if people see it's just like, I have to do this training because my company asked me to do it, then that is the problem.
I think you point out a very strong point, which is the person delivering the training is very important, right? Like you can't get your random captain to come in and talk about harassment and well-being, and maybe this person is like, tough and all. So it's whether also the recipients, you as seafarers and the crew, are able to gain the respect from him that I need to learn from you when it comes to harassment. So I guess, to me, I think more importantly is that during these so-called training sessions, right, how do you prevent these people from, or whoever, from actually switching off and understanding that these trainings are essential? How do you actually make them see that this is something that demands a mindset change?
I find it very difficult because most of the senior seafarers were just gaslight you like nobody.
No, but basically, like for what I had one case was basically this captain, she just said a word that actually quite makes sense lah. He speak it to all the seafarers that imagine if your daughter is the one going on board and the daughter is facing all this harassment. Do you want your daughter to be experiencing all this? So if you don't want it, then you shouldn't do it to a girl as well, because the girl on board is also a daughter of somebody else. So you don't want somebody's daughter to face the same problem, so you shouldn't be doing the same thing. So that is one thing that actually, this phrase, this word, this sentence itself, it strikes the meaning behind it straight away. All these seafarers on board, most of them, they have a family back at home. Yes, they have a children, they have a child, they have a daughter. So when you tell them to think about it, that your daughter is the one that's on board, and your daughter is the one facing all the harassment, do you want it to really happen? You straight away you will make them start to think about what they are doing, and then they will try to change their mindset.
But I also think, yes, effectiveness of the course across multinational crew, right? I think something that we need to dwell upon it as well.
Yeah, because it's nice to hear, because you're actually understanding that different cultures have different ways of expressions, and also to help them to understand things, there are also different ways of delivering. But maybe Jinghong, you could share from your side.
Because I'm trying to recall, I don't think my company have any actual harassment related talks or workshop.
Well, I really like the diversity here.
Yeah, because I try to recall, but then I don't recall having anything regarding that. Because most of the time what we have is just, so our company have this bi-monthly, every 2 months there's this so-called the company bulletin. And then you will have message of the day, that kind of thing. Then you have the themes of the month or whatever. So usually first page is always from the vice president. He will talk about what's happening recently within the company. Is there any increase in cases or any profit loss or whatever, or safety related things. And then from there on it's just sharing and everything. So it's usually about harassment wise, it's always in the bulletin. They will mention about trying to stop harassment. But to attend an actual workshop and have a trainer talk about harassment, I don't think we had any. But for my company was, what we have is, when we started having more females in the company, they started setting up this thing called Ship Her. So they gathered all the female seafarers together. They form a community for the female seafarers, both the seafarers and the ashore in the office, whoever that's willing to come together and think of ways to help improve the females' well-being on board.
So with this, I think I will be happy to wrap up our session because it was very, very fruitful. I think it was very mind-blowing for me too. But like you mentioned, it's really, you hit so many points that I feel hopefully we reach that self-actualization and realization through this podcast also, that people are able to, really resonate with whatever that you've been through, and also really hit the heart to know that harassment is something that should be taken seriously.
Exactly.
It's a very serious topic, a difficult topic to say, but all the more that we should speak up. Not stay silent about it. And also, more importantly, if you have friends on board, right, check in on each other, have, like you mentioned, support systems. So I feel like support systems is so important, right? I think it could be a really nice way to kind of, be enjoying the work that you do also, because more importantly, like we like to say that, as seafarers, the work that you do is very valuable because you make the whole world move, and especially when it comes to Singapore, we live on everything else, everything.
Through ship, everything through ship.
Yeah, and it's really, really amazing work. Really fully appreciate you guys coming out with bearing your hearts, and hopefully we could make an impact together. And also, I would like to just together we will wish everybody today. All right.
Okay.
Happy Day of the Seafarer.